Hello and welcome to Shelf 2, Tier 4. As you can see, this is basically my TNG catch-all with at least one little caveat that we will get to in a few moments. But first, just a basic overview here of what's going on. These are bobbleheads. Data here, Data is a fragile one. I picked him up and forgot that his torso had separated at one point in shipping to me, and he fell off, and then consequently his head broke off. So he is glued together right now and will probably not move until I can gently get him back over to the shelf. So dusting will be very interesting. However, so what you see here is a very special series of 8 Star Trek Build-A-Bridge Deluxe bobbleheads. Wesley here was a special edition version of that. I think you can only get him at a certain Comic-Con. They flooded eBay the minute people bought them on the Comic-Con, so they're not hard to find. So, I mean, I believe you could still get this entire set piece by piece on eBay just like I did. Each one is made of resin, which is why they're very delicate, I guess. Data here arrived, both hands broken and his torso snapped in the box. So, I mean, the box had not been opened at all, but he arrived broken. So I had glued his hands on and glued his torso on and completely forgotten about that until I just picked him up about 20 minutes ago, and his torso fell over and his head snapped off. So right now, Data is being held together by very wet glue, and I'm trying not to move so much because the bobblehead will just force the neck to separate again. It broke pretty cleanly from the bottom of the collar here to the neck, so you know there's that, and the torso fell off again, so I had to re-glue that. But as you can see here, perfectly represented, the bobbleheads of the main crew. Over here we have, of course, this is going to be a little harder than I thought. This is, of course, a Romulan warbird in all of its glory. It does have batteries in it. Oh, that's probably not good. But as you can see, the nacelles light up. It's got a nice little sound going on there. I think it's the only thing that lights up on it. There it's firing a plasma torpedo. Actually, that's the plasma torpedo. This is a regular torpedo. And then that's just the engine going. And the lights are very nice. This is a Playmates. This is from Playmates, of course. But I think that might be disruptors. It's hard to tell. The sound chips are always kind of bad in these things. But the light up feature is very nice on the nacelles. And the warbird design was always really cool. It always looked menacing and imposing. And when it would first decloak in front of that big Enterprise, you thought the Enterprise D was huge. And then this thing would decloak, and it's like, where does everyone live? I assume everyone lives here because this is all engines and secrets and evil. I've come to understand. So, but yeah, that is a Romulan warbird from Playmates. Okay, now that we got the bobbleheads and the Romulan out of the way, let's move on to Miss Edith Keeler here. Thank you. She is from Playmates. The clothing is amazing. Now, if you're not familiar with Edith Keeler, she is the person that Kirk falls in love with during the episode The City on the Edge of Forever. McCoy overdoses. They jump through a time portal to August of 1967, I think. And then while in the past, Kirk falls in love with Edith, who was played by Joan Collins, who I think is really accurately represented here. I think the sculpt Playmates did for her looks fantastic. And she comes with a cup for coffee and a little coffee percolator, which barely fits in her hand. She was out of box. I believe I bought her at Big Fun just because I love the episode, and the figure just looks so fantastic. Ooh, hide your shame, sweetheart. The figure looks fantastic. The cloak is great. I think they did an amazing job with this. She's got a blouse with a little twist on there. She's got a wonderful skirt. Her big, heavy overcoat here is just great. She's just a fantastic figure. And, the accessories, they're plastic. What are you going to do about that? It's fine. The figure, though, spectacular. Got high heels on. She's fairly easy to pose. She's got a lot of different articulation points. She doesn't have a torso twist, but her head does move. She does have elbow movement and shoulder movement. It does go out a little bit, and then knees and leg movement and hip movement. But her feet don't move, which, you don't really expect that. But yeah, so this is Edith Keeler, played by Joan Collins in The City on the Edge of Forever. Stifle it, Edith, huh? We'll go to the next out-of-the-bag doll here. This is Dr. Crusher. She's got her base back there. We'll just play that as written. She is also from Playmates. She has... The reason I really liked this, and again, out of box, look at the hair. You could comb that. In fact, I think I had to comb that because it was like static and it was like everywhere. So I think I did run a comb through her hair to get it tamed down a little bit. But anyway, I like the blue coat. The only problem I have with the Diamond Select Art Asylum figure of her is she is not wearing a blue coat. She's just got her uniform on. The Blue Doctor's coat was a necessity for this character. She to differentiate her, to give her her own personality to start with. She comes with a hyperspray, she comes with a medical tricorder, and she's got her little medical bag right there. So that is Dr. Beverly Crusher. Over here, we have the Magellan, which in this case is actually an alarm clock. It's even got a program feature down here for the radio. There's a little compartment right here that's full of all the functions. Memory, sleep, volume control. And what's really, it's really great thing, which I thought was really cool. It doesn't light up. It doesn't really do anything. It does have an alarm function on it. I'm pretty sure at one point the nacelles did light up when the alarm went off. But look at the clock. Isn't that funny? It's just a quartz clock. It's nothing really special. At some point, I'll try to get it to light up, but turn it off, turn it on. But yeah, it's... Oh, here's the battery compartment. Let's see how this looks. Oh, not bad. Look at that. 3 AA batteries and a 9-volt. Pretty standard stuff for an alarm clock of this era. Yeah. the Magellan from the Enterprise. I've got 3 bagged figures back here. We'll start with this one. This is Jean-Luc Picard. Like I said, I have a lot of Picards. This is from the episode Tapestry. In this episode, and I can pull him out of here actually. I think I will. In this episode, Picard has a heart implant. The heart implant explodes unexpectedly, and his hand is in here, so don't worry about that. His hand won't stay on, and the paint on this is not particularly great. I think I've actually fixed this once or twice with a black marker in order to try to get the shirt looking correctly. I don't know, they kind of phoned this one in. I'm not exactly sure how or why. But anyway, so in Tapestry, Picard has his heart explodes, and of course Q intervenes and sends him basically back in time to several days before a Damjat bar competition with a Nausicaan, I do believe.
Human. Play, Damjat, human.
The Nausicaan puts a knife through his heart, and therefore he is given a mechanical heart. So, and it's basically a Q screwing with Picard episode, and everybody is tertiary. So, so this is Picard from Tapestry. So let me tell you about a thing called phoning it in. Somebody did poor Geordi dirty here. I mean, just look at him. I don't know. I just don't know. Look at the neck length. We're getting into weird territory here. He's got all of his parts move correctly. He seems to be thinner, if I'm honest. He's definitely got a thinner body sculpt, I think. It just comes off that way. Maybe it's just because it's in the bag. But yeah, so this was 2008. It's the only Voyager associated thing that Diamond Select put out, is this timeless Geordi. Comes with a little pad. He's in a Voyager uniform. But otherwise, yeah, so that's Geordi right there. And I do believe this was another mail-in. I think so. But yeah, so there's Geordi done kind of dirty here. It just doesn't look right. And that neck, my gosh, LeVar Burton could see around corners and wouldn't have to stand up. Now this is the complete opposite of phoning in. Here is Gowron. This was a mail-in character. I mean, just look at that. Look at that face. I believe he came in a 2-pack with Worf as well. But look at this. I mean, he's got his Klingon disruptor there, an extra set of hands, a Klingon blood wine cup, and a batleth. But I mean, look at that. That is incredible. What an incredible likeness. This uniform, this outfit is just fantastic. And it's weird, though, because his legs, they twist there. It's a weird twisty place. Torso does twist. Head, no articulation in the head. But then again, you got that thick mane of hair right there. But yeah, so that is Gowron in plastic. Now here is Lore. The complete polar opposite of Data. He has emotions. He's evil. He's been in several episodes and then died to the crystalline entity when he tried to get it to do what the crystalline entity did. But yeah, so this is as he is seen in the Descent episode. I'm not quite familiar with that. I need to rewatch all of my Star Trek. But here he is. There's Data and there's Lore. There's Geordi and there's Reggie. Broccoli. We'll get to Broccoli. Not now, but later. But yeah, so here he doesn't have any Starfleet gear. He says with Starfleet gear, he doesn't even get a base. No base. No base at all. and he doesn't even get an exposed positronic brain. I mean, I do like the reflection though. It looks like his face is over here and over here and over here. It's pretty spooky, actually. So here we have another Jean-Luc Picard. Surprise. This is from First Contact, which, hey, First Contact Day last week. Isn't that nice? But here he is wearing his captain's vest, which Cisco actually wore several times in DS9. Anyway, so here he is. Here's his Type 3 phaser. He's got a pad and a tricorder. He's got a hand phaser. And then he's got the Queen of the Borg's skull and spine. Obviously, that is Starfleet gear. So this was sfx.com exclusive. I'm not familiar with sfx.com. Bought this off of eBay. So, that's great. And then here's all of your Picards. That is Captain Picard as seen on First Contact. So up next, it's Counselor Deanna Troi in her purple outfit. She comes with a Starfleet gear and display base, which is really interesting. So she's got her computer console, she's got a pad, she's got a Type 2 phaser, and she's got that. It escapes me as to what that is, which is probably terrible. But anyway, so this is Counselor Troi. Her comm badge looks weird. Can you see that? It kind of blends in a little bit. You can see the chevron in silver, but the gold really is hidden within the two sets of purple there. Last but certainly not least, here he is in his Starfleet uniform, Ensign Wesley Crusher. There's his Starfleet bag to get him out where he needs to go, and there's his phaser and his tricorder and his pad. Pretty good likeness of Will Wheaton. Very skinny. I think this is the mold that they probably used for Geordi, to be honest with you. But I like that Starfleet bag. I always thought they looked very impractical because they weren't like regular duffel bags. They were hard-shelled cases, which means that they only took a certain volume of things and you couldn't stretch them out. I don't know. Maybe they were magic. I have no idea. But yeah, there is Ensign Wesley Crusher. So as you can tell, whew, boy, these are really dusty. Let's get them cleaned up and get them put back.
Play, Damjat, human!